What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Batman and Robin issue number 2. And this story is taking place during the Gotham War. We can assume that it takes place before Batman issue 138. Because in issue 138, what we saw is Batman leaving Damian behind. Damian thought that he was siding with his father, that they were going to be a team working on all of this together. But all of that had fallen apart when Batman left him behind. This story is showing us the time before that, when they were actually making some growth and making a connection. Damian even living back in the brownstone, or living in the brownstone back with his father. And while they tried to mend their relationship, Damian is also trying to get accustomed to going back to school, trying to find the balance between school and crime fighting. This is a newer challenge for Damian, a challenge that he might not be able to live up to. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up exactly where we left off. Batman getting hit with some kind of pellet, and this has turned the bats of Gotham against him. Right now, Batman is being swarmed by bats, the symbol of Gotham for so many years. That symbol is being now used as a weapon. And the person responsible for doing this, letting him know that he is no longer at the top of the food chain, and that this must happen so she can get her life back. Going for a long shot, hoping that this might work, Batman throws down a bomb. But this is a bomb of scents and fragrance. Eucalyptus, cinnamon, rosemary, and thyme. Bruce's mother used to place all of this around the mansion. This would keep the bats away. And in this instant, it does the same exact thing, putting those fragrances into a smoke bomb. Even Damian gives him props, saying that you truly are prepared for everything. But now they head back to the brownstone. They have to find Killer Croc, Orca, Man-Bat, and the Terrible Trio. This is what picks us up with our mysterious individual, the one that had shot the pheromones at Batman, turning the bats against him, a person in the shadows talking to her. We learn that her name is Shush. Shush had taken advantage of White Rabbit's failure and also distracted Batman. From this day forward, the symbol that Batman stole will be his enemy, at least until he finds a cure. But the voice does tell Shush that one thing was right. Killer Croc was right on the aspect that Batman will be coming for us. And if they wish to have their revenge, Shush must go tie up some loose ends before Batman and Robin do. This is what takes us to the brownstone. Damian sewing up his father, and they are really just going over all the information that they have. White Rabbit was hired to steal a Zeppelin. In that Zeppelin, there was a doctor, an expert on DNA sequencing. The technology that was stolen from the labs in Gotham points directly towards experiments merging human DNA with other elements. After seeing the Terrible Trio no longer wearing any mask, but they had been changed into animal hybrids. When White Rabbit had failed, someone sent in Man-Bat, Killer Croc, Orca, and the Terrible Trio to kidnap him. They also set a trap for Batman. They are dealing with somebody who is prepared, who is steps ahead of them. They could have killed Batman tonight. Instead, they turned the bats against him. They were sending a message. But as they go over all this information, we pick up the next day with Damian arriving at Gotham City High, thinking to himself that he has faced down literal gods. And now he's got to walk in here and be kind and courteous, or at the very least, try his best to blend in. As he walks these corridors, he cannot help but hear the whispers about him being Bruce Wayne's son, about how they are broke now. Some saying that he is weird, that he is short, wearing glasses inside. This is when one of the high school kids, they come up to him and they start to mess with him, pulling his journal out of his book. They begin to read Damian's little comic manga that he has created, The Adventures of Damian Vane. At this point, they get the opportunity to really start making fun of him, making fun of what he wrote, making fun of his accent, because it definitely doesn't sound like he is from Gotham. This is when they start to make fun of his mother, and in his mind, he thinks about just crushing every single one of them. But he stops himself. And while all of this is ongoing, we have Principal Stone who arrives. She breaks up all of this before Damian gets the opportunity to lay down some hate. As their teacher, Miss Hall, comes into the room to introduce Damian to the rest of the class, we see that Damian is gone. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared. Damian has suited up and he is back out there on the streets. He is headed for Blackgate. He is headed for White Rabbit. Now, with White Rabbit currently locked up, Damian making his way inside the facility only to run into Batman. Batman saying that he should be in school. Damian telling Batman that he should be resting. Neither of them can get away from the work. Batman making a note that Damian didn't even make it past first period, going to mention that when he was on Lazarus Island. But for Damian, Lazarus Island was different. The people there understood him. Back at the high school, it is nothing more than a popularity contest. But while they make their way through the halls of Blackgate, this is where we see that the guards are down, that they need to get White Rabbit out of here as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, we have Shush and the Terrible Trio. They have made it here before Batman. White Rabbit's life now hangs in the balance. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so not a bad story to start us off. We're really starting to get our feeding, starting to get hold of where we are. I think this story would be more impactful if Gotham War wasn't currently ongoing. Everything going on with the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, it really doesn't correlate over to this comic. We don't see Batman acting irrationally. We don't see him having moments of psychosis. In this comic, Batman really does seem to be completely normal and just happy that his son is back living with him. So like I said, this would be more impactful if we didn't know what was to come. And if I'm being completely honest, I have been waiting for this comic. I've been waiting for the opportunity where Damian and Bruce, they finally can connect as father and son. These two have been on the outs for a very long time. Ever since the death of Alfred, most of the Bat family has had a really hard time staying connected and together. Alfred was truly the glue of this family, and without him, many of them have found it hard to communicate with one another. Alfred was always the voice of reason. He was always the one that everyone went to it for advice, whether they be right or wrong. He was a guy that they talked to help sort out the issues inside of the family. And with his presence now missing, this family has truly fallen apart. Bruce Wayne hasn't been further away from his children since not having children. And so finally seeing some growth between the two of them, some kind of repair to their relationship, has been absolutely fantastic. Truth be told, Damian Wayne could go down a very dangerous path. Because of how he was raised, how he was trained, Talia turned him into a weapon. Batman is really just directing that weapon to a source of good. And so without the positive influence of his father, Damian could go down such a dangerous and treacherous path. One that could have Damian fighting against his very own family. That is why comics like this one are so very, very unique and very needed. Because without Damian coming back into the fold, without the love of his father, without the guidance of Bruce, we don't know what could become of Damian Wayne. We like to believe that he would always stay on the straight and narrow, that he would be the source of good. But Damian, like his father, he sees too many things in black and white. But I'm excited to see where this story goes, to see where it all unfolds and who is behind everything that is currently going on. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that is going on with Batman and Robin, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.